Hello everyone, welcome to How Strong is Hell's Paradise. This is my first of possibly many power scaling videos that I may make. In this video, we'll be going over how strong the series created by Yuji Kaku truly is. Spoilers ahead. So there are two ways that you could reasonably scale these characters. We're going to start off with the first one that I think will be accepted by most people with little contention. To start the series without using Ninpo, Gabimaru was able to survive execution by oxen, which can produce over 950 kilograms of force. Mind you, he did this casually without any effort. Before his capture, Gabimaru was able to kill over 20 men and was only captured due to realizing that even if he escaped, he would be chased by the shinobi for as long as he still lived. When Gabimaru arrives at the island of Jinsenkyo, he is caught off guard by Warped Kyun, throwing his giant iron ball. The amount of force that this attack has been calced to is small building level. This is impressive, as Gabimaru was caught off guard and only dislocated his neck, which to Gabimaru isn't that dangerous to him and did almost zero damage. Gabimaru is shown to break all of Kyun's weapons, and in the anime is shown to casually fragment the iron ball after Kyun hits him with it again. Soon after his encounter with Warped Kyun, Gabimaru and Sagiri encounter Rokua, the giant, a monster of a man who has been able to one-shot 2 Asaemon, able to launch trees casually. However, Rokuroda's most impressive feat is being able to heavily damage Gabimaru and take almost no damage from him even while caught off guard. This is insanely impressive because, as we discussed earlier, he is able to shrug off small building level attacks with no damage. What makes it even crazier is that Rokuroda is able to do this by using Tao without even knowing. So just imagine what the skilled ones with Tao will be able to do. We're going to skip ahead a little bit to Gabimaru versus Zujin, a Tenzen with massive amounts of Tao, to the point where the normal rules of Tao work a little bit differently for them. Tao, which allows you to boost your stats and read your opponent's moves, and for the Tenzen, able to use their Tao to heal themselves, gives him a massive advantage over Gabimaru in this battle. Even with this massive advantage, Gabimaru is able to react and dodge Zujin's attacks, and when he is able to without realizing he is using Tao, he's able to exchange dozens of blows and overwhelm Zujin. This causes Zujin to go into its Hishikai form. This feat becomes even more impressive when you consider that Gabimaru could not perceive Tao, so he was taking damage from attacks that he couldn't see from a Tenzen level character, who's at this point the strongest character that we have seen so far. Also, Zujin had the Tao advantage over Gabimaru, which means Gabimaru was constantly being nerfed by each of Zujin's attacks. To reiterate, this is Gabimaru who has very little knowledge of, if any, on Tao, and was able to overwhelm one of the Tenzen. One of our first glimpses of people with knowledge on Tao is Xion. Xion was able to learn how to use Tao pretty quickly, as his entire life he had been seeing Tao without realizing it. This becomes an insanely useful ability, as his first encounter with the Tenzen was in its Kishikai state. And by learning from cutting down multiple monsters within the island, Xion is able to wield and perceive Tao to use its abilities. And at points in the battle, he was able to use his Tao to cut off Mudan's limbs. Though we could chalk up some of this performance to him having Wood Tao, which would be nerfing Mudan's Earth Tao. However, as I mentioned earlier, the Tenzen still have multiple advantages with being able to heal, and they have a better understanding of Tao than the human characters. Now, those previous two feats against the Tenzen are important because Tenzen such as Reen are able to manipulate all of the sanctums with relative ease and make them change location, possibly granting Tenzen level characters city block levels of power. This is also Reen in his base form, which Gabimaru was able to block attacks from despite being at a Tao disadvantage, and even survives the onslaught attack from Reen in his Kishikai state, albeit with significant damage. This is Gabimaru before he gets even stronger by acquiring Flower Tao from going through arborification. One of the last feats I want to talk about for strength is the power of Reen, a character that far surpasses the Tenzen, including Zujin and Reen. In just its base yin form, was able to combat Yamada, Asaemon, Shugen, and Gabimaru. When Reen diverts most of her power to fighting rather than guarding the ship, she is able to overwhelm the two with relative ease. And for Reen's durability, even if she striked at a vital point by Xion and Sagiri, both characters who hinders her, it was stated that it would only leave a dent on her. In Reen's Kishikai state, she is stated to be able to destroy massive ships with relative ease, and in the series she is shown capable of this as she breaks most of her own ship so she can divert more of her Tao to her attacks. This feat created a cloud which can be calced to city block to multi-city block level. Only characters who scale to this monster is Yamada Asaemon Shugen, Gabimaru, and Sagiri. Even then, Reen is shown to be a good amount stronger than them, as she was able to defeat Shugen, tank an Ascetic Blaze from Gabimaru, and being able to defend against most of middle path Sagiri and Gabimaru's attacks. The only character that was shown to be able to oppress Reen was Sagiri when she was fully maximizing the middle path, her true power. A power that Gabimaru and Shugen state that is stronger than they are, even considering all the power buffs that Gabimaru has gotten throughout the arcs. This section is a little bit easier as the characters like Shion, even while near death and can barely stand, can dodge point blank lightning attacks from half Kishikai's Zujin. Mei, with a broken tendon, was able to shield Gabimaru before Zujin's lightning could hit them. Gabimaru in the final fight of the series was able to pull Sagiri out the way to dodge Kishikai Reen's lightning, and Sagiri was able to regain her footing before the lightning was able to hit the other side of the ship. So as we can see, being a lightning timer is pretty consistent within the series. And while I don't really find this feat to be too significant, Shion was shown dodging beams from Muden. However, it's hard to tell if they're light or if they're faster than the lightning, so take that feat for what you will. But a lightning timer in Hell's Paradise is just way too consistent to overlook. With all this being said, with the first method, you can get most of the characters to City Block and lightning timers, with the higher tiers being City Block Plus to Multi-City Block. Now for the second method, it will be mostly explaining how Tao works. Tao, as explained by Reen, the one who's been studying Tao for 700 years, Mei learned with Reen, Hoko, and the official guidebook's narrator say that Tao is the origin of all creation. It permeates and gives form to everything. Now some people argue that they only mean the physical universe. However, things such as life and death, the soul, thoughts, stillness and motion, love and hate are all cycles or states of Tao. Even the character's essence is given form to by Tao. So all those examples suggest that Tao is beyond a physical level. It acts as the fundamental and abstract framework space relies on to function. The way that Tao is explained is almost word for word the definition for Plato's theories of forms, in the sense that it is the essence of all things in creation. To add even more consistency of this fitting into Plato's theory, almost every single time the characters refer to Tao and how they use it, they refer to it as taking command over form. Since characters actively tap into Tao and will strike each other and defend each other's with, this could give the characters outer-versal levels of power. So with that being said, it is very consistent for these characters to also be outer-versal. At worst, this could be argued to be only outer-versal level of hacks for everyone in the series. However, I would like to argue that it would apply to their stats as they use Tao to defend, attack each other with, and characters who haven't learned how to wield or defend themselves with it have been able to survive Tao-based attacks. It has also been stated to straight up boost their stats. With all this being said, you guys should let me know in the comments how powerful you think these characters are. I know I didn't get into the haxes of these characters, but I plan to save that for a separate video with their individual character inverse rankings in different videos. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you later.